Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to draw a sphere and render it using a 6B pencil. For sketching, I just need one pencil. I'll just pick this one. This is 6B. As you can see, this has the thickest tip, but I'm going to use this to draw everything. We'll keep the eraser aside for now. If you have tried drawing a perfect circle, you know how difficult it is to do it freehand. Whether you are a beginner or you're trying to refine your shading techniques, this will break down the steps. When we draw organic shapes, lines, or other objects, it feels simpler to draw than when we draw a circle. But it's not difficult. I'll show you how we can make a circle same as we can draw any other object. For drawing a circle today, let's do it like an object drawing. So we'll take this ball, which is a sphere. Use your thumb to put your pencil at the center point, and just as a guide, mark 4 dots at the top, bottom, left and right. You can add more points in between. Now connect the dots. Connect these points with a very light, continuous curved line. You can rotate your paper, you can rotate your wrist, whatever feels comfortable to you to maintain a smooth, natural hand movement. Don't press very hard, keep it light. We can refine it as we go. Once you have your basic circle, rotate your paper or sketchbook if you want and look at it from different angles. If you spot any flat areas or wobbles, you can make adjustments until you're happy with the shape. You don't need to use an eraser, just draw over it. Remember, the circle represents the outer contour of the sphere. Once the circle is ready, we can start shading or rendering. Before we do that, let's talk about how light interacts with the sphere. It is important. When light hits a sphere, you'll see 5 distinct areas. It will also depend on the direction of the light and the position from where you're looking at the sphere. Your light and the shadows will change accordingly, so just make sure to notice all those differences. Now, when we are shading a sphere, the brightest point where the light directly hits the sphere is called the highlight. Then there are midtones, which are the gradual transition from light to shadow. There is core shadow, which is the darkest part of the shadow on the sphere itself. There is reflected light, which is a subtle, lighter area within the shadow caused by light bouncing back from the surface the sphere sits on. And the cast shadow. It is the shadow the sphere throws onto the surface beneath it. So identify the light source, mark your highlights. You can put a small circle or dot to guide you where the highlights will be so that you don't shade over it. This spot will stay white, the paper showing through with the light coming from the light source. So I'm not shading it over there. If there's anything that has gone outside the circle, you can use your eraser to clean up that space, just to clean the sheet. So once you start shading, lay down the first layer with your 6B pencil. Use a very light hand and begin shading the sphere except the highlight area. Use very light pressure and circular strokes of the pencil and follow the curves. Think of it like you're wrapping the surface with your pencil strokes. The key here is to go light so that you can always add more as you go to make it darker. The first layer establishes that this is a three-dimensional form, not a flat circle. Build on the shadow. Now focus on the shadows. Using slightly more pressure, start building up darker values in this region. Use the side of your 6B pencil for broader, softer marks. The core shadow should curve with the form. It's not a straight line, but rather follows the sphere's roundness. Create gradual transitions. Now this is what makes it look three-dimensional when you create gradual transitions. Between your highlight and your core shadow, we need to have smooth gradual transitions. We can add another layer of graphite, pressing lighter as you approach the highlight and darker as you move towards the core shadow. So you can work in layers. It's better to work in layers than one heavy layer, especially where you are not sure about it. This gives you a more control and flexibility for smoother gradations. Don't use your fingers to do the blending. With the 6B pencil, you can create the gradation without doing that. So I would suggest to avoid over blending or trying to use your finger or anything else to do that. That is used in charcoal, but to keep the values clean and neat and sharp, don't use the rubbing method yet. So once you have the reflected light along the outer edge of the sphere on the shadow side, you'll see a thin band slightly lighter than the core shadow. This is the light bouncing back from the surface below. Keep a note of all the areas where you see the light reflecting. Darken the core shadow. Protect the highlight from getting smudged and the cast shadow. Once you feel that the sphere is ready, keep it at a distance. Check out how the sphere looks. Squint your eyes while looking at your sphere. This will help you to see the overall value without getting distracted by details. So right now we need to see whether the light, dark, the highlight is clear or not. If you need adjustments, you can always draw over it. Try to avoid using an eraser because that will smudge. That will make it look smoky but not sharp. Also notice that we haven't drawn a circle, a sharp circle. Let the gradation show the circle. You don't need to draw a circle around the sphere. Because of the light and shadow, the three-dimensional effect will come up. You don't have to define a line around the circle. That makes it look more natural and more three-dimensional and realistic. If you want to keep the shading intact, you can use some kind of spray over it, a fixative spray. A fixative spray helps to keep the drawing clean without getting it smudged. Use a fixative spray after you have completed your drawing and you have finished, because once you use the fixative spray, you will not be able to make adjustments over it. Let me know what technique do you use to draw circles, to draw spheres. Let me know in the comments what else would you like to draw. If there's anything that you want to draw and you would like instructions, I'd be very happy to share. Please share and subscribe. Thank you.